What's good, YouTube? It's your man CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back with another video. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here just getting off work on my hospice shift, and it's a decent night, you know. I had 3 calls last night. It was 2 deaths and 1 medication reconciliation, and it was a decent night. I think one of the most difficult things about working hospice, though, is getting used to getting up and going back out, which I'm used to already, but you know, it's just a part of the game. It's like you go home and you chart for a couple hours that you chart, and then phone ring again, you gotta get up, go back out, and it's probably gonna be crazy in the wintertime, but it is what it is. This is what we do, and we're gonna continue to do what we do. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the topic of today's video. Look, I'm not gonna cap. I feel like with a lot of nursing students and a lot of nurses out here that's in the game, I really feel like nursing school failed a lot of us. I feel like it failed a lot of us, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you knew how many nurses out here that were very financially illiterate, you would be shocked. I have come across dozens of nurses in my personal journey of nursing that have no idea about personal finance, and trust me, I was one of those nurses. It's something that I had to self-educate myself on, because a lot of us just don't know. You know, if y'all are millennials, a lot of parents to millennials told us, hey, go to school, get a good education, and just work. But a lot of our parents didn't know about credit. A lot of our parents didn't know, because their parents taught them the same thing. A lot of our parents would take credit cards and cut them up, because that's how you get into debt. But they didn't know that credit is the cheat code. They didn't know that credit is your way to financial freedom, because credit is king. I mean, it really is. Credit is king, but you don't know what you don't know. And I know some schools, they teach, you know, finance. Like we had, like in middle school, we had like a basic finance class, but we didn't have nothing to the sort of learning about credit, you know, secure credit cards and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that is something that should be taught in nursing school, because like I said, nurses make a lot of money very quickly, and some people have no idea how to handle that. One of the places that I came from this morning, I heard a nurse, I overheard them saying that they work 4 jobs. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. In my head, now obviously I didn't say nothing because that's not my business, but I'm thinking like, wow, that's hustling backwards if you ask me, because 1, you're not getting overtime if you work in 4 jobs. You dig what I'm saying? 2, why would you split your time up like that and split your money up like that? The key is to get overtime at that 1 job as much as you can, and when they ain't letting you get that overtime, then you go to the next job. But splitting the pot by 4, to me, that just makes no sense. Unless y'all got a different method, and let me know. I would love to hear it. So I'm just like, wow. And it's just, you know, who knows what the circumstances are for that individual nurse. They could have a gang of kids, they could have family they trying to take care of, I don't know. But I know that in nursing school, we had to take a lot of classes that had nothing to do with nothing. You dig? I had a sociology class. Right hand to God, I had a sociology class where we had to watch The Wire. No cap. We literally had to watch The Wire and talk about The Wire. And I'm just like, what in the 7th realm of hell does this have to do with nursing? Not nothing. Not a thing. And there are several classes like that. And the most important one, you neglecting to teach. Well, one of the most important ones is financial literacy. How to set up a retirement account, Roth IRAs, 401ks, 403bs. A lot of nurses have no idea what these things are. And it's not that it's their fault. You just don't know what you don't know. That's why you got so many people in these nursing homes, so many people in these hospitals that are working until they 60, 70, 80, not because they want to work, but because they have to work. You dig? So it's unfortunate. Oh, my bad, y'all. It's unfortunate that we have circumstances like that, because with what we do in the profession, with all the people that we help, financial literacy should almost be second nature. It really should, ladies and gentlemen. It should be second nature. And there's absolutely no reason why any nurse should be broke. There's absolutely no reason why any nurse should retire in a not so good space. It's crazy. They don't teach us simple things like, yo, you spend $500. You more than likely spend $500 every single week on BS, on fast food, on stuff that brings you nothing, on just little stuff that's not important. How about if you took that $500 that you spending every single week and put that up in a high yield savings account somewhere like that? Like, I'm sorry. I mean, this is just me. I didn't know what a high yield savings account was until I got grown. It was what it was. This is no fault of my parents. This is not because they did a great job. It's just stuff that we didn't know. I didn't know what a high yield savings account was until I was a grown man. So hopefully somebody who may not be financially literate, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you don't know. There's nothing wrong. That don't mean you dumb. That don't mean you stupid. That don't mean nothing. None of that. You're just ignorant to what you don't know. So I didn't know what an APY was. I didn't know what return on investments was and everything like that. I didn't know none of that. And so now that I'm on this journey of retiring early, I'm researching and I'm learning what all that stuff is and what all that stuff means. And so, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you who I learned about high yield savings account and everything like that from. I got to give the man his credit, Anton Daniels. He was the first person that I seen talk about that. And I'm sure there have been plenty of people to talk about it on YouTube before him. But he was just the first person I seen talk about high yield savings account, stocks, and how to use certain things for tax breaks and tax write-offs and all that kind of stuff. I had no idea about this stuff. And they didn't teach that in nursing school. And I'm like, this is why so many nurses have to work and do this back-breaking work. Now, I'm not even talking about nurses at this point. Just people in general, CNAs, just all kind of people. There are literally doctors and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, making millions. And it's crazy because a lot of these physicians out here will be millionaires. They'll gross $1 million a year, but they spending habits will make them bring them $2 million worth of debt. So it's just like, are you a millionaire at that point? Yeah, you bringing in the money, but you got more going out. That's what's coming in. So you in the red. And like I said, it is the fault of the nursing schools, in my opinion, to not teach the people what they don't know. Because if you can spend so much time making us take prerequisites on classes that mean absolutely nothing to nursing, then why the hell can't you teach about finances, wealth building, and all that kind of stuff? Especially with all the hell that nurses go through. Why is it so hard for establishments and schools to teach stuff like that? You specific, I don't know, maybe it's different at y'all nursing school, but you specifically have to go to an institution and go in a field to where that stuff is normalized, like accounting and stuff like that. They teach you about stuff like that in those type of fields. But why wouldn't you teach nurses about that? There's no reason why any nurse should retire broke and have to work past 65. You dig what I'm saying? There's no reason why. I mean, that should literally be a part of the curriculum. And I don't understand why it's not. So yes, a lot of nursing school failed a lot of us. They really did. But fortunately, you know, if you seeing this video, now you know. Maybe I've sparked something. A lot of nurses are learning now. And it's never too late to learn and to upgrade and everything like that. I don't care if you're 60, 70 years old. I mean, because with the way technology is going now, people living to 100, 105. So you just, it's never too late. But, you know, to have to do backbreaking work because you have to and not because you want to, that's a big mindset shift. You dig what I'm saying? So, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I just feel like we have to be smarter. And we have to go out and actually seek this knowledge, because nobody's going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's just going to hand it to you. You got to be super intentional with the things that you want to do. And if you're not, then you'll end up doing things just to do them. And that makes no sense if you ask me. So anyway, let me know what y'all think about that. Like I said, y'all know I'm the semi-retired nurse on paper, technically, but I want to have the options to retire fully in 5 years, but I believe I can do it in less time. And this is another edition of the video playlist series. I still don't know what I'm gonna title it, but you know, it's here. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my name is CJ, aka the High Value Nurse. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we got popping off over here. And yeah, until next time, get paid. Young nurse, get paid. Peace.